as you can tell by this face, dork, by this behind me, nerd. Hi, my name is Lisa, and I've loved books ever since I can remember. I grew up constant reading. I remember even before I could read, loving books, torturing my poor uncle with Where the Wild Things Are more times than he would like to remember, so much so that he hid it from me. And I've unfortunately been cursed with, don't get me wrong, love, a better half that is dyslexic and does not like books, and it's the story of my life. I feel like everyone should read. It's great. Books are better than movies and TV, people. Don't get me wrong, total dork. I Star Trek, sci-fi, shit's all in my library, not gonna lie. But with this, you can use your brain, your imagination, see things the way the author would see them, not how a director would see them. So, I've learned over the years from my better half that if I found something interesting and unique about the book that I can get them to relate to, or something that they like already, one of their favorite books is, Clockwork Orange, because it's more fucked up than the movie, people, and that's hard to say considering that's a fucked up movie. So, what I figured I would do here is try to promote books, get people to read, because it's great, people. And I know in this day and age, there's tons of, other medias. If you want to use Audible, that's great too, because that's still, you're getting the book. So I figured with this, we start off with a story to try to get you into the idea of a book, and then get you the book. And today, I figured I would start out with something that's a classic, and something I can tell you a little bit about me, so you can kind of get to know me. You don't know by this, but yes, I grew up on a farm about 2 hours away from where I currently live now, which is in a city. Thank God. Anyway, but growing up on a farm, you're constantly surrounded by people, family, and your animals. And this can be fun, and this can also be traumatizing, or traumatizing to other people, depending. But, so my stories today, I'm going to give you two small ones, about me. When I was about 4, it was deer hunting season. My grandfather had filled the meat shed with deer, obviously, and not everyone likes deer. They used to lie to me and tell me it was chicken. Anyway, so he had killed a cow, did not have room in the slaughter shed to cut it into pieces, obviously. So he hung it from the tree beside the meat house. And needless to say, I came outside to play, my mother with me, and I see said cow that I had known all my life, dead and hanging from the tree. Normal response from another child would probably run in the other direction. Me, I over to said cow and kissed him on his dead, skinned, bloody nose and said, "Thank you, Mr. Moo, for my hamburgers." Yeah. Another fun little fact. My grandfather gave me a horse when I was about 5 named Lady, who thought she was a dog. She would follow you around like a puppy. But my first experience on a horse was when I was 3, and it was my uncle's horse, Whiskey, who the name fits the mindset of this animal. So, needless to say, 3 years old, my uncle puts me on the horse. My grandmother and mom are standing there like, yay! And startled said horse, me here, horse here, me here. I was completely fine, of course, until my mom and grandmother freaked and was like, "Oh my God, my baby!" and came running. So of course then I cried like a little baby. Anyway, so that being said, we're gonna go into some farcical animals that can talk. So Animal Farm was written by George Orwell, who was born in the early 1900s. He was a socialist who very much was against communism, of course, as socialist sometimes unfortunately becomes communism. And he himself died at a rather early age in his 40s, sadly. But he's a brilliant man who obviously had a great imagination, because he's written several classics, Animal Farm and 1984, which all kind of along the same theme, which is his distrust of government and man, which I think we can all understand nowadays with the, you know, situation we suffer from here in America. But I digress. We're going to go into Animal Farm. So the main protagonists, of course, in this book are all animals. We have, you know, standard horses, pigs, cows, chickens, sheep. And unfortunately, the world they know is run by Mr. Jones, the farmer, and they end up taking back their farm from him, basically, and create their own socialist utopia, which unfortunately gets muddied by people, and I say people, who want all the things for themselves, which are the pigs. So they start out with 7 basic rules, which are great. Basic rights for everyone. And then they slowly get dwindled and changed until basically they're under total, like, communist, like, thumb of the piggies. Rightly named Napoleon. You know, poor Snowball, if you read this book. Anyway, so I highly recommend it. And basically it tells you a lot about people and the way they think. He basically saw the downfall of society as being the ignorance of society. Hello, read people. And people not standing up for themselves, as in one of the main characters who is the hardest working, most caring person in the book, ends up being carted off to a slaughterhouse. So, with that being said, it's a good read, people. Anything by him, I highly recommend. You should read anything. And if you have any books that you've been thinking about reading, but, you know, can't get to it or whatever, message me in the comments below. And maybe I'll give you an idea on it and discuss it with you, and you can figure out if it's worth your read, whether it's something you'd be interested in. And I had fun, guys. I hope you did too. So hopefully I'll see you here next time.